The Biden administration now facing a lot of pressure now to take action on Iran. The American hostages, as you hear, are being held at the hand of Hamas terrorists. Hugh Dugan is the former acting hostage affairs envoy, former National Security Council, and former U.S. delegate to the United Nations. And Hugh, welcome, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Bill.
UN 1989 to 2015. That's 26 years by my math, and that's a long time.
You saw a lot during those years.
Saw a lot. You survived, too, by the way.
Thank you.
What are we up against? What should the administration do with Iran? And how do you link the $6 billion with what's happening today?
Well, in our massive military complex, the one weapon of war that we least study and understand is the taking of American hostages. Whenever it happens, we're woken in the middle of the night. We can't find our slippers, our lights, our glasses, and we're stumbling around. So we need to study and understand the phenomenon and be prepared when these things happen to us. Currently, there are Americans endangered in Gaza. There could be as many as 600 who live in that region who could be at risk. And our principal task now is to make sure that their captors understand that they're going to be worth more to them alive than dead.
How do we do that?
We establish consequences. We don't wait for them to tell us what the terms are. We don't say, okay, what's this going to cost us? And then go to the mall and stop at the ATM on the way. We don't have $6 billion every day to throw away at these problems. So we have to develop the consequences up front. We have to say to them, this is too expensive for you. You can't afford this. And you can't even afford the time right now to understand just what the consequences will be on you.
It doesn't appear that that message has been transferred to them.
I'm hoping that they're taking it seriously and that consequences depend upon action. We need to implement action. I'm not going to say what that may or may not be. I'm not in the administration now. I carry no information. I don't want to mislead viewers whatsoever. But to look at the hostage phenomenon, one has to establish consequences and deliver upon them.
One of the things that Dan Henninger in the Wall Street Journal wrote about today is that the planning to go after innocent people was made by men sitting around a conference table, like figuring out what they were going to do. And this was a strategic target. And we might see more of this. Mm-hmm. But you're also talking about possible urban warfare,
yes,
which we also know is very, very difficult and could put everybody in harm's way, including the rescuers.
Absolutely. Trying to go into a rescue situation, especially when terrorists are holding hostages, has had very, very mixed results over time. The odds are maybe even, and we're bound to venture into some very dangerous territory if we don't go in a way that's practicable and effective in the end, which saves lives, which makes the point that we stand by our people. Taking of Americans is no less serious than a declaration of war against our country. And each hostage case is not a battle. Each case is its own war. And we need to manage that effectively. We need more resources in Washington. We have a special presidential envoy for hostage affairs. It's a small office. It's a one-man Pentagon. We need to build up that capacity and as a public understand that when Americans are taken, it's an act of war. And we need to be ready with maximal response as soon as we get that indication.
You know, I was just trying to draw a connection here. You're very eloquent at this. From 1979, the American embassy in Tehran, to what's happening right now in Gaza. And in between that time, we've got Evan Gershkovich from the Wall Street Journal. Mm-hmm. Now, they treat him as a prisoner. Mm-hmm. I would dare say he's a hostage under Putin. And
right.
I mean, now you have this I mean, do you have a common thread between all this?
Well, we've seen the use of hostage taking as a tool of diplomacy, so to speak, arise since the 70s. We cannot tolerate that. Iran has been in the forefront of establishing this horrible practice. Unfortunately, it looks as though with a year out to our election that this could be President Biden's hostage headache, just as it was for Jimmy Carter.
What a great guest to have today. Let's stay in touch with you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.